So hello everybody, my name is Dr. Stavi Baram and I'm the director of BGU International, and welcome to our info session about Ben-Gurion University of the Negev. I will present the university shortly and all the study possibilities at the university. Then we will have two of our Indian students that are currently studying at BGU share their experiences with you, and at the end we will have a Q&A. For your information, we're recording this session and we also put everybody on mute so there aren't any disturbances of noises from across the globe and that you can hear us better. Ben-Gurion University is a comprehensive university with a lot of multidisciplinary research. It was established with the mission, besides to be excellent in teaching and in research, also to develop the southern region of Israel, the Negev region, which comprises of half the landmass of Israel. We are named after Ben-Gurion, David Ben-Gurion, the first prime minister of Israel, who even at the time of establishment of the university and before that believed that the Negev region is the future of Israel. The Negev, which is the desert region or the drier region of Israel, is half the landmass of Israel and only 11% populated. So anything you want to think about, develop in this region, space is not an issue. We are located in Beersheba, which is the capital of the Negev. It is an ancient city. It was mentioned way back in the Bible, but it is very fast developing and an advanced city. And the main campus is located in Beersheba. Of course, here we have another two campuses, one in Sde Boker, which is a research campus, 50 kilometers south of us, and a small teaching campus and a bit of research in Eilat, which is on the tip of the Red Sea. The university in Beersheba is established in a very unique ecosystem where around the university you have also an advanced technologies park, a high-tech park, and a university hospital, the Soroka University Hospital. So everything is within walking distance of 5 to 10 minutes from each other, which creates a very well-established and unique relationship between industry, government, and the university research. Part of the high-tech park is also the Israeli Defense Forces, and they are their IT units also collaborate. That's the part in the high-tech park, and they also collaborate. The Advanced Technologies Park was established as the idea of the previous, or two previous presidents of the university who wanted to develop this region and actually to find employment possibilities for graduates of the university to stay in this region. The park has now 4 buildings fully occupied, and the plan is for it to develop to 18 fully occupied high-tech companies. You see on the screen some of the international companies that are located in the high-tech park. As a testament to the success or the fulfillment of the mission, 2 graduates of the university established a startup company. When the park was just established, 1 year later, after they established their company, they were already sold to PayPal. So that is one example of many more of the special relationship between the high-tech park and the university. The university was established in 1969, so we just celebrated our 50th anniversary. We have about 20,000 students. A third are graduate students doing their master's and PhD. We have international students from over 75 countries, over 1,000 international students, and we're very proud to say that the biggest population of international students is from India. 23% of our international students are from India. You see on the slide the namesakes of different research collaborations. The most unique multidisciplinary thing to understand about the university is how different researchers from different fields, different departments actually collaborate together to establish and to work together and to do research. So you can get people from physics and engineering, or even a physician that his position at the university is in the Department of Middle Eastern Studies, for example. So this all depends about where you are and what you want to do. And when thinking about the possibilities to come to BGU, the most important thing is to find a researcher which will act as your advisor, and you will be registered according to the topic and your background. And then you will be connected to a certain academic department according to the department to which your advisor is registered. A bit about ranking. We are a young university, and we were published in Nature in the listing of young university in our natural sciences as number 15. And we're also a green campus. We were the first one in Israel and still number one in Israel, and 152 globally for everything connected to a green campus. As I mentioned, we are a comprehensive university. So we have all faculties, which I will go into a bit more detail in a minute, except law. We do not have a law school. Our Faculty of Engineering is attributes to a third of the workforce of engineers in Israel. It is very well known and sought after. And what we are showing you are the different departments and units which you can study in English at the Faculty of Engineering. Natural sciences. Again, you can see the listings of all the different departments and the study programs. And again, what's important is what you want to study, what is your background, and agreeing about a potential study field with your advisor. You choose an advisor before, and you agree with an advisor before you actually start the formal admissions to the university. Our Faculty of Business and Management just nearly a year ago received its accreditation from the European accreditation body, which is a testament to the study and program and uniqueness that exists within the faculty. We also have there a very special MBA, Master in Business Administrations program, which is taught in English for 1 year, 3 semesters in a row, where the studies are dedicated or condensed into 2 days a week. And you can choose to do an internship in the high-tech park that I mentioned before, or in different companies for the other 3 to 4 days a week. So while you're spending a year in Israel, you can gain also some work experience as part alongside your MBA degree. Our Faculty of Humanities and Social Sciences, it's one faculty combined of the 2 fields, and you can see the list of opportunities and study possibilities. On the master level in English, you can at the moment study for Israel studies and literature and linguistics. We are working on opening up additional possibilities in English. For the PhD program, we do have, and postdocs, of course, everything, all the possibilities are open in English. Israel Studies is part of our campus in Sde Boker, which I will talk about in a minute, but it deals with all the topics related to the establishment of the State of Israel from the point of view of like a test case that combines both the social, the political environment, and the different aspects that led to the establishment of the State of Israel. And we reached our Sde Boker campus, which is 50 kilometers south of BGU. It's only a research campus, and it has several research institutes, renowned research institutes on campus, everything to do with desert research, how to utilize the desert for mankind. So it can be solar energy, it can be water research, agriculture, biotechnology. How do we live in a dry area and have all the facilities that we want? On campus, there is also a very unique international school for desert studies in all those topics, where half and half study Israelis and international students side by side, and everything is conducted on campus in English. Our Faculty of Health Sciences, and it's called Health Sciences and not like in a lot of places medicine, because besides a medical school, it also has all the related health professions, also basic research, basic medical research. All the physicians, or most of the physicians and the teachers in those schools that really work in the hospital have their academic affiliation with the hospital, and that again contributes to the ecosystem that I mentioned before. We have there also a medical school for international health that follows the American style curriculum, which is a 4-year program, and people are admitted after their undergraduates and pre-med prerequisites. We also have short programs, mostly summer programs, which are for international students. I may mention the data mining and business intelligence for cybersecurity applications. One of the students that will be talking later on came for the first time to BGU to participate in this program. He then completed his undergraduate degree in India and came back to do here, and now he's doing his master's degree here, and he will tell you more about it. Another unique program is in global health, and we have one in Sde Boker for agricultural, sustainable agricultural solutions. We will have one also on entrepreneurship. So there are a lot of opportunities to look into. In addition to that, we have also an internship program. So if you are studying at the moment in a university in India, or you already completed your studies and are thinking about what to do, and considering maybe you want to see how it is to work and to live in Israel, you can come for an internship program for between 3 months and a year to the university. Again, it works like for the research degrees. You have to find an advisor that will act as your host and agree to have you in his lab. We have also, of course, very famous and successful international graduates and Israeli graduates, and I think the most the most known topic now is, of course, COVID-19, Corona, and the vaccines. So Dr. Tal Zaks graduated from the medical school here at Ben Gurion University, and he is the chief medical director of Moderna, who came up with one of the vaccines for COVID-19. Okay, how is it to live? How is student life in BGU? So in Israel, the university is very well known for its student life, and when we don't have COVID, so we have activities throughout the year. There's a very comprehensive and full activities that go on. We also acknowledge our Indian populations, and a few years ago, we also had a holy party as part of our Purim festival. Again, a lot of things to do with activities, student fairs, shows that go on, everything around the university. Lonely Planet talked about Israel being, or describes Israel as being a safe country. It is safe to walk around the street. Women can walk around the street also at night. Of course, you have to be careful. You have to be careful and aware and alert anywhere, but like you would be in any other normal, regular place in the world. We are we're a closed campus, so everything is very secure. It's true in Israel in general. For example, you do open your bag when you enter into a public place, like a cinema, like a mall. The same goes on at the university. You have to pass through a security gate, but you show your student ID and you come in. That's not a problem. There is a hotline of the BGU security division or department, which works 24/7. And there is an app with even a help button on it. So you can always, also when you're off campus and you need something or you don't know what to do, you can just ring their phone number or press on the app and they'll call you back. So in that respect, it is even maybe you can get a sense of security even more than you might get somewhere else where you feel a bit alone. In any case, there's constantly, when something has to be announced to the students, it's always published in English and in Hebrew through mass mails published on the website. With BGU International conduct at the beginning of the semester an orientation session for the new international students. We also give a security briefing on how common behaviors in the university in Israel, which we hope, and to the best of the knowledge, we know that make the adjustment into BGU, Beersheba, Israel, a bit easier. Beersheba, being the capital of the Negev, is a central city. So it's very easy to walk about and to get about to all regions of the country. We are connected by train, we are connected by bus. Of course, if someone wants to rent a car or buy a car for the time that they're here, it's very easy to communicate or to get to drive from place to place. The signs on the roads are all bilingual. They're in English and in Hebrew. So that's an easy thing. Our Sde Boker campus is accessible not by train, but by, of course, car and by bus. And Eilat is accessible also by plane. So as I mentioned, community. it's a real community. The Indian students even, I don't know how many years ago, already opened a Facebook group called Indians at Ben Gurion University of the Negev. They help each other, they ask questions. It's a closed group, but it's very easy to get help there and become a member of it. And that's just an example of the general environment that exists here. The city is developing. If you're coming with families, maybe small kids also, there are lots of parks, shopping centers, a market to buy things, sort of anything you can think about and imagine in a modern city that welcomes people to come and stay here and live here and enjoy life. You can see the map of BGU. So first of all, the boxed area is the train station. So you can see that even the train station is literally walking distance, 5 to 10 minutes walking from the middle of the campus. So it depends how quick or slow you're walking. That's the difference. And they're connected by a bridge. So that's how easy it is to get along. The circled areas are the two complexes of dormitories that are not within the campus, but literally outside of the campus. And they are also secured by the BGU security department. Okay, housing. Where do I live when I come to BGU? So all the options are available. You can choose to live in the dormitories, and there are different types of apartments in the dormitories, both for singles sharing apartments, which is usually 4 people in an apartment. Each one has their own bedroom, and they share the bathroom and the kitchen area and the living area. And then there are apartments also for graduate students doing their master, PhD, postdocs if they like. And there you have also single apartments and family apartments. Everything depends about what you would like to do and what investment or what budgets you would like to commit to. There are also students who just rent apartments, shared or alone, all around campus. Also, a lot of Israelis do the same. So basically, all the possibilities are available to you as being BGU students. Sde Boker campus, as I mentioned, is 50 kilometers south of BGU. They have their own dormitory complex within the campus at Sde Boker. And there are different types of apartments, thinking about singles, pairs, and families. Food, what do we eat? Well, Beersheba being a very diverse city, which originally immigrants came from, Jewish immigrants from all over the world, you have all the possibilities. And Israel or Israelis in general eat a lot of salads. So anyone who is vegetarian doesn't have any problem being in Israel and finding what to eat, or in restaurants or cooking. It is something that's very common. How much will it cost me living expenses? So that depends about your budget, what you have, because the variety, as you can see, depends on the cost of living and what you're used to. You can go to, a small store that may be a bit more expensive. You can go and buy food in the market, and then it will be cheaper. Same goes for accommodation. Depending what you will choose for your accommodation, you have a range of prices that you can budget for or from. Same goes for transportation and traveling around the country. If you rent a car, it will cost you, transportation will cost you more than if you will use public transportation in Israel, which its prices are subsidized. Scholarships. So most of the graduate programs at BGU do offer scholarships. Some of them also exemption of that cover tuition fees. So master students, all the programs in the Sde Boker campus, Desert Research, Israel Studies, offer scholarships for international students. Same goes for natural sciences in the main campus, and engineering have some competitive scholarships for international students, so it's worthwhile to try and apply for them. I'm talking about BGU funding. As your advisor may be able to support you with a scholarship through his research funds. So this is, once you choose an advisor, this is certainly something that you can discuss and you should discuss just to understand, and it's a legitimate question to say, do you have scholarships to offer, or don't you have, or how much are the scholarships? PhD students, we have scholarships for all international students. There is a capping of about $1,200, which is the minimum offered to PhD students. Researchers, again, in certain fields, and depends about the research number, can add on top of that funding for scholarships. So again, it's easier with a PhD, but it is something that you can and should discuss with your advisor. Postdocs, this is here the possibilities are for grants, or the postdoc comes with their own grants, or the researcher that you're coming to their lab will fund you, or a combination of the two. Everything, both options work. There are also competitive grants, very special grants that BGU is listed as one of the places where you can come and do research and get funds for it. So this is something you can look into. Sometimes also the embassies offer scholarships. So you should look both at the options available by the Indian embassy in Israel and the Israeli embassy in India. Sort of everything is there for grabbing. So we help people come. And once you are admitted and you get an admissions letter, we work with you and guide you through the visa application. You will need to get health insurance. We highly recommend that the most worthwhile is to do it with an Israeli health insurance company, so you don't have any issues of having to pay out of pocket and then getting refunds from the company. If you have an Israeli provider, you will get an insurance card and you will just use it like any of us would use it. Especially with COVID-19 and everything that's going on, we from, I think about June 2020, worked very closely both with the ministries of health and with the Indian embassy and with the Israeli Ministry for Foreign Affairs to help Indian students, because all the flights were stopped, come to to Israel. So all the universities together, approached all the relevant authorities to get approval. And at the beginning, we had one flight a month, which we managed to work out. And now, because of the big community and the good relationships between Israel and India, we actually have Air India has resumed flights something like twice a month. And actually today we have a flight that has left Delhi for India. They will land in Israel tonight, our time, with some of BGU students always. And I think on all of the flights we have students, and the picture here is the student that came a few weeks ago on one of those flights to Israel. So even COVID-19 won't stop you from coming here. From the point of view of dealing with COVID-19 within the university, there's a special task force. And registration and maintaining that only students can actually enter campus. They have to sign a health declaration and they check your temperature. But if you're a graduate student, research goes on and you can study and you can come and work in your research lab. The courses are at the moment online. There is also very strict keeping of if a student or a staff member may be taken ill. So immediately the people that they were in contact with will get into isolation. But this is all organized very well with the BGU security department and the COVID-19 task force. So this is a very short presentation, and I apologize if I talked too fast, but I think I will now hand it over to each one in his own pace, our two students. So the first one will be Angika. Angika, are you online? Wait, we have to unmute her, so bear with us for a minute. Yeah, okay, so Angika is a PhD student and I will let her present herself.
Yeah, sure, thank you. Can I share my screen? I made a small presentation for this.
Yeah, one moment. You can share your screen.
Yeah, I'm Angika Bulbul, and I am pursuing my PhD under supervision of Professor Joseph Rosen in School of Electrical and Computer Engineering. And I'm a student of IIT Delhi in India. I did my MTech in Applied Optics, and before that, I did my BTech in Engineering Physics from NIT Calicut. And here in Israel, for PhD, it's a very good institution, and it will give you a lot of exposures. And here, these are my few accomplishments that I published here, 3 papers till now, and 2 are under process. And a lot of conferences, you will get lots of opportunity to have conferences, present your work, and also you will get lots of awards. And also our work was, I think it was very valuable, and we also filed a patent for our work, and many media also covered our research topic that we worked here. And here it's a good place to enjoy and work. And also if you want to visit some other country in Europe, it's nearby. You don't need to fly from India to Europe. And I would like BGU is best placed, and I'm very lucky to be here and doing my PhD here.
Thank you very much, Angika. And
Thank
now
you.
we have Trivikram, who is a master student. And I told you about him. He came for a summer course, and now he's back doing his master degree. So, Trivikram?
Yes. Am I audible?
Yes, we hear you. Good.
Okay. So unfortunately, I don't have a presentation ready. However, so as I was introduced before, I came here to do a summer program in data mining and cybersecurity. And now I'm back to do a master's degree program. I would say that my decision to come here was established in the fact that I loved being here for my summer program for a month. It was a very knowledgeable program that taught a lot about both cybersecurity and data mining and machine learning and related concepts. And I was really, really impressed with the program, and I decided to come back and pursue my master's here. It was a kind of a litmus test for me to see whether the country would be a place that I like, and if the people are warm, and if the programs are nice and well structured. And yes, it was 100% for me, so I decided to come back. And right now I'm pursuing my master's in data science from the Department of Industrial Engineering and Management, applied to cybersecurity and malware analysis, in particular at the high-tech park, at one of our laboratories at the high-tech park that was mentioned in the presentation before. And if you're somebody who's interested in cybersecurity, I would definitely say BGU is one of the best places that you can do it in. One of the primary reasons why I chose Israel as a study destination was because I knew that cybersecurity was one of the best things to learn in Israel. And since BGU had a specialty set of laboratories dedicated for cybersecurity and machine learning and deep learning, and let's say the conjunction of these two spheres of learning, I thought was a brilliant decision to come here, and it's been justified. I mean, I've been having a great time here, learning a lot, and the kind of people you work with here are really knowledgeable, and the dynamic that you experience in the classroom as well as at the research labs is really good. And if you're looking for the kind of laboratories that are present at the cybersecurity research labs of BGU, I would say that you have labs related to malware analysis, IoT security, drone research, network security, air gap networks, and many others. And as far as the classroom environment is concerned, I would say that most of the syllabi are updated and are relevant for industries. And the lecturers themselves are really, really talented, and they know what they're talking about. And you would really enjoy the classroom atmosphere as well. And as was mentioned, I think all the engineering classes are in English. So far, all the classes that I've had and all the courses I've had were in English. And so besides academics, I would say there's a lot of stuff that you can do in and around Beersheba. There are many cultural spots that you can spend time in. And I have three things to mention here as far as living is concerned. I've had the opportunity to live in the dormitories for 1 year, and this is my second year of master's. I decided to move out of the dormitories because I needed a little more space to set up a few more computers and stuff. So I thought it would be best to take an apartment at the research dormitories of BGU. So that's another thing. If you're a master's student or a PhD student or a postdoc student, you also have research housing here that is meant for graduate students and above. And that is a good place to stay in as well. That is where I am right now. And as far as the food is concerned, I would say that there are 3 Indian stores available in Beersheba. And if you have any kind of requirement for specific materials or specific food items or grocery items that are endemic to India, you will probably find them in these shops. So far, I have not had a single item that I used in India that I couldn't find here in Israel. And as far as how much you spend on food items is concerned, I think the PPT mentioned anywhere between 500 to 800 US dollars. But for me and in general in the Indian community here, I would say you can easily manage between anywhere between 250 to 350 US dollars per month. It doesn't take $500, not necessarily. And I think the major concern that most of you would have had as a result of international media is how safe is Israel. And I would have to say that it is one of the safest places to be in. My parents had this concern as well when I was coming here initially for my 1 month in my summer program, but all fears have been quelled and everything is fine. I've been living here for more than a year now, and there is no problem at all. So as far as safety is concerned, it's probably one of the safest places you can be in. That's it from my side. I'll be happy to answer questions if you have any.
Thank you very much, both Trivikram and Angika. And now we will be happy to address questions all through the chat, or raise your hands and then we will open your microphone if you would like to ask questions, both to me and to Angika and Trivikram. Someone asked, can a master student get an internship in a company? If you're coming to do part of your master's in business intelligence, so yes, for sure. If you're doing your master program in a program in India, then it depends about the relationship. You can do it through BGU if it's a researcher that also is involved with some of the research, for example, on the high-tech park. But if you want to come only for an internship in a company that has no connection with BGU, then you would have to find a way to come through the company itself. Someone asked about the TOEFL requirements. So for PhD students, TOEFL in general, if you studied your degree in English and you can get a document from that you did your master's or your undergraduate degree in English, so you're exempt from the TOEFL. Someone asked about a 1 month summer internship. So we don't have a 1 month summer internship. The minimum for an internship is 3 months. But what we do have for 1 month are dedicated summer courses, and they are 1 month long. And you have to follow our website to see what's available, when, what are the academic requirements for those activities.
What is the percentage of international students at BGU?
Percentage of international students at BGU, there's about 5%, and we're constantly growing. We're working on increasing the numbers. As there are more and more availability and courses starting to be offered in English, because primarily the university taught at the beginning only in Hebrew. So now that more and more possibilities are opening up in English, we're seeing an increase, and we're also conducting info sessions and wanting to get the word about BGU out there, so we should see more and more international students at BGU.
They ask if we have master degree in design or design programs.
No. Someone asked about master programs in design or something related. Unfortunately, no, we don't have.
What are the employment opportunities after master's from computer science in BGU?
Computer science, that depends, employability or employment possibilities. If you are asking about Israel, the visa that you come on is a student visa. What now was established not so long ago by the government, that if you are a graduate of high-tech subjects, there is a special transition visa that if a company is willing or wants to hire you, then there is a special, easier transition into an employment visa, which is done through the company, or the company, if you are not from the high-tech fields, so then the company has to want you and apply for the work permit visa. If you are looking about employment possibilities around the world, that depends on the employment and visa regulations of that country, or if you're going back to India, so of course, which company wants you. But the education, as I think you heard from the students that talked, and if you will look more about on our website, you will see that the degree is very well thought after, and you don't have any, I don't know of anyone who had a problem, both if they wanted to go for and continue their academic career for postdocs or advanced degrees with a degree from BGU.
Is there any research fellows position other than PhD and postdocs?
The postdoc is a research fellow position. In some departments, they do offer a longer term position for academic positions, but that depends on the department and the job opportunities that open up. Meaning, basically, if at that time someone retires, and which field they want to recruit from.
Okay, is GMAT or any equivalent entrance exam from India mandatory for MBA program in BGU?
Yeah, someone asked about if a GMAT is required for the MBA program. I have to make sure, but to the best of my knowledge, it is recommended, it is not mandatory. So it can help support your application, but it's not mandatory.
Okay. Currently, the summer program for BGU is unavailable. It is suspended for some time, or is it suspended for 2021?
Yeah, the summer programs regretfully are suspended because of COVID-19. At the moment, the government or the health department doesn't allow the tourists to come in, nor students or visitors for short visits, and 1 month is considered short visit. The shortest visit you will get an entry permit for, and the visa to come into Israel is for a semester, meaning 4 months at least. So,
Global health.
Yeah, global health will be offered, as it was last year, as an online course. So you can register for it from wherever you are across the globe. And as it is such a warm topic, and I think we have this course in global health for the past 7 years we have had it, or 8, coming up 8 years. This will be the 8th year that we're running it. And, a long time before COVID and the global pandemic was about, but it certainly shows the importance of this topic.
I'm an electronics student and I intend to do master's in computer science. Can I switch from electronics to computer science?
Okay, the question was, can you switch fields from electronics to computer science? You have to, as I said, you have to find an advisor and who will, together with you, work on or identify the specific topic of research. You may be required, depends what your background is, to do specific courses in a certain topic or a certain field. so that you have more knowledge that you may be lacking. In an extreme situation, and usually doesn't happen with international students, you may be required to make up a bunch of courses before you will get a conditional acceptance, and you will have to make up some courses to better your background before you start your master's.
He's learning a hybrid of business and engineering. Should I look for an advisor from Faculty of Business or Engineering?
Someone asked about studying a hybrid of business and in engineering. As it happens, we have a department that is called, and Stavi Baram is part of that department, Industrial Engineering and Management. So my first guess would be to try and find an advisor there, but it depends again on your specific research interests, and I would go looking about the website and what the different researchers and advisors in a certain department are researching, and then starting to communicate with them and seeing what would better suit both your interests and your advisor's interest.
Do I need to find a PhD supervisor from BGU before applying to the university?
Yes. As I explained, true for masters, research masters, and for PhD, you have to find an advisor before you apply for your PhD or your master's department. We don't want to put you in a situation where you would move to Israel, change your whole way of life, get adjusted, and then study a semester and not find an advisor, and then you won't be able to continue your studies. So yes, although it may be a bit difficult, a bit frightening, you can communicate with potential advisors. If you don't have, if you feel that people aren't answering you, you can send us an email to BGU International to the email study@bgu.ac.il, and we will try to help you and guide you in the right direction.
Are there any non-thesis program for masters in computer science?
Not at the moment. The question was, are there non-thesis programs in computer science? Not at the moment. At the moment, in computer science, and also all the different computer disciplines that are taught through the engineering department, they're all with a thesis.
Do I need to contact professors and decide research project prior to joining PhD, or can I decide the research project after joining the university?
Part of the finding a PhD is you're going to an advisor for your PhD. You're going to do things. You're discussing the research topics. To what extent are you doing a drill down and choosing the specific research project that will be your own research project? It depends. It's up to your discussions with your advisor. I assume that in most cases you would do something sort of a very general discussion about topics, and then once you're here, you would do some kind of drill down to the specifics of your research project.
I'm an MTech biotech student from India. Can I apply for a summer internship?
Yes. Also for a summer internship, you have to find an advisor. Even if you're coming for, let's say, 3 months in the summer or 4 months in the summer now because of COVID, so it has to be at least 4 months, you need to find an advisor that is willing to host you in their lab.
How to proceed with the admissions for master's degree in mechanical engineering for student doing his final year BE in India?
If you're in your final year and you haven't completed your degree yet, you'll start with contacting your potential advisor. In what interests you is mechanical engineering, you would start with the mechanical engineering department, look at the website, see what interests you, send emails to the faculty that are doing their research in the mechanical engineering field, They will ask you for the current transcript. They will probably interview you. They will ask for your ranking in your class. They will get all your academic background, and you may start the application, but you will be officially and finally admitted only after you have graduated from your degree, and you are, or even if you didn't get the diploma, but you can present a certificate from your university that you are eligible for your bachelor's degree.
Master in economics or related fields?
Master in economics. Someone asked about the master in economics. We do want to open the master in economics. The thing is that we didn't have enough students applying for it this year, so it didn't open. Hopefully in the future we will have more candidates to open the master in economics.
IELTS score for entering BGU International?
IELTS score needs to be 6.5 or above.
Masters in material sciences.
Same as someone asked about masters in material sciences. Again, find an advisor. It's through material sciences, is through our material engineering. On the one hand, on the other hand, depends again on the research that you would want to do. It can be possible also maybe from chemical engineering, also from our chemistry department. So depending on, again, on your research topic that interests you.
Is it allowed for a computer science student to apply for internships in high-tech companies in the final year of master's?
The way the master's program in engineering is structured is that the work is very intense, and you're doing also your research projects in the laboratory. I don't know of any student who actually had the time also to do an additional internship. This may be a possibility depending on the company, if they will be willing to have you and work with you on the visa after your master's degree. Or if you're in a high-tech field, so then there's the transfer visa for 1 year.
Is there any student exchange program?
Student exchange, yes, for sure. Depends on what you want. If you want to, as part of your studies, to go to study a semester abroad or to do part of your research abroad, certainly you can apply like any other BGU student.
Any age bar for postdoc?
The question was about age bar for postdocs. To be eligible for a postdoc scholarship from BGU, you have to be within 7 years from finishing your PhD degree. So it isn't an age bar for your age. Sort of if you did your PhD at a later age or finished it at a later age, they're counting only the years between the end of your PhD and the beginning of your postdoc.
Career opportunities after desert studies, hydrology and water sciences, particularly in Israel.
Depending on the companies. I think that most of the people who went into the desert research were in the academic field, and then they went on for positions in universities. I don't think of industry. I don't think I know of
high-tech companies.
A bit high-tech companies, again, depending on what the specific startup or idea of the company was. We have just time for a few more questions.
What is the deadline for PhD application?
PhD application, you can start twice a year. So, or in October or in end of February or beginning of March, depends when the semester starts. So you can apply throughout the year for those sort of for starting dates or in October or in March.
What is the cost of master's degree?
Master's degree, if you have to pay, if you don't get a scholarship and you're paying tuition, is about $4,000, $4,500, depending on the conversion of shekels, which is the Israeli currency, to dollars annually. So if it's 2 years, it will be about $9,000, and you're paying it in increments throughout the year. If you're doing the MBA program where your whole degree is condensed into 1 year, so that will be the cost of the degree, which you will have to pay within the 1 year. Last question?
Yeah, I want to see what is left. Any question to our students? Cost of PhD.
PhD has scholarships for international students, so they will exempt them also from tuition, right? Angika, you're muted. Hang on, we'll unmute you.
Yeah. Here scholarship is pretty good, and I think it's enough to even save a few amount of money, so you don't need to worry about tuition fee in PhD.
Is there a 1-year internship available in data science?
Yeah, someone asked about a 1-year internship in data sciences. Basically, yes, but you have to have an advisor that will be willing to accept you to be your host advisor for the internship. We're writing now in the chat the email of study@BGU. Any questions you have, please feel free to contact us. We really want to see you here at BGU and help you with any queries. There's no stupid question or unfamiliar questions. Don't be shy. Write to us and we will answer you. And you can also try to get onto the Facebook page of Indians at BGU and ask them questions. And take care, stay well, and see you at BGU.